Today I'm going to be replacing the expression system pickup in a Taylor 214 and explaining all that's involved in that. I made a video on this years ago, but I think it's time to do an update on this. A lot of people complain about the expression system, that it doesn't sound quite like an acoustic, doesn't sound quite like an electric guitar. We'll be talking a little bit about that, but suffice it to say, it's not really a great sounding pickup. The expression system also is noisy. At times it can pick up fluorescent lights. That's what it sounds like now, and we'll see what it's going to sound like with the new pickup. But I've done scores of these, and I want to today show you what's involved. Now I've got the pickup system out so you can see it, and here is the preamp that I removed from the siding. That's going to come out of the guitar, and these holes are going to be plugged. This is a 2014 Taylor 214, and this one does not have the pickup under the fingerboard extension, so I won't be needing to take the neck off. Here is the pickup. So I showed you the preamp. Well, here's the pickup connected to it. It's just basically a piezo or piezo, however you want to pronounce it, type pickup. And the tail block had this battery compartment with a plug wire going to the preamp. That's going to come out too. And here is the kit for the kit of plugs for a Taylor expression system. And the rosewood plug will go here, and I can get these in whatever siding is of the Taylor, whether it's mahogany or rosewood. This retrofits perfectly. Use the screws to mount it in there, and then we have this strip which covers these holes from the inside, and it plugs those, and they are flush with the siding. So it's a nice thing. Now, I used to make these kits, but there's a guy now in Texas that's making them, and I have my customer get them directly from him. His name is Rick Shaw. It's Rick Shaw Guitars. If you go to the Rick Shaw Guitars, just Google it. Rick Shaw Guitars. He's in Texas. His website, he'll sell you this kit. I think they're running now around $75, $78, but check with him on the price and get a kit for your Taylor if you're going to bring it in and have me do this for you and set your guitar up. So we're going to be installing the Martin Thin Line passive pickup. This is the 332 passive. There's no battery with this one, and this is one of the best options for just using a direct box or a good acoustic guitar amp with a good preamp in it, and they sound nice and warm and natural. They sound great, and it's going to have also a piezo that's going to go right here, and then this is going to mount on the new piece for the tail block. Something that goes unnoticed with these is what's under those control knobs. When you take them off, you'll notice that there's a little bit of finish checking there, and there's of course the fact that the white wood is showing and may show a little bit as a rim around these when you put them in. So I take some of this Minwax natural stain, just put a little bit on a Q-tip like this, and I can come around these areas right here and darken them in a little bit with that stain, and also get it on there really good. You soak it in, and it should take care of a lot of that checking where that finish is coming off. Just let it soak in there real good, like that. Yep. Let's take something and wipe the excess off. Yeah, that looks better. That looks better. All right. Now, before I put these in the guitar, I hit these with a little darkening coat of clear satin lacquer from Stumac. Just one shot across these and livens them up. They look a little bit better. All right, plugs in, pickup installed. And that's how she looks. Okay. Yeah, that's more natural acoustic sounding. And you can always hook up a LR Baggs preamp. It's a external preamp that you can look up. It's called the Para Acoustic DI. You can run it through that and then into just about anything, and it sounds great. So anyway, that's how we fix them up if they have expression systems. And this one went pretty easy. Now the next one is going to be more involved, and that's going to be here in this video too. Stay tuned. Here's the other Taylor 214 that we're doing the pickup removal of the expression system and installation of a Baggs pickup. And this one's going to have an active pickup, and the preamp is in the tailpiece for this one. This is a Baggs Active Element VTC. VTC stands for Volume Tone Control, which is going to mount on the side hole here when we're done. And then the pickup that came in this type Taylor, what I wanted to show you, was one of these that slips through here. This expression system, and they've changed it drastically over the years with this type of arrangement on a piezo rather than top sensors and a pickup under the fingerboard. Now they've got this type piezo arrangement, and this one has a 0.5 Allen wrench tensioners where you can actually adjust the tension against the saddle, and these are the piezo points of it. So that's got to be taken out because I'll show you what we're going to do to this. It's kind of hard to hold the phone in one hand and show you this. So what I've done is I've cut the wire off of this. This was the wire that went to the preamp. There's the preamp that was removed. There's the tailpiece that was removed, the old battery compartment. And this is the new, this is the old expression system, piezo and preamp that was pulled out. And here's the saddle that's going back in. And this is still going to be in there because it's part of the prop for the saddle. I have actually filled these before with a dowel or something rather than putting this back in, but I've decided to start using it because it is a good prop. It keeps the saddle straight, and you can still adjust the tension on the saddle with it, and it helps stabilize it a little bit for that new piezo. The new piezo from Baggs, which is going to come in from underneath and slip in there from here, go underneath the saddle. Now, the other thing we're going to do with this Taylor is install a JLD bridge system. That's this device that goes underneath the bridge here, and it keeps the top from bellying up when it's under string tension. This guitar had a top belly, and what will eventually happen with the top belly is that the bridge will come off. It's the main reason bridges become detached from bodies. So this one had a top belly, and what we're going to do is put the JLD bridge system in it. And to do that, I'm going to drill a hole right here, and it's going to be covered with a 1/4 inch piece of inlay, the screw head. So the screw head will be here, countersunk and covered with inlay. And the way the JLD bridge system works, here I can grab a brochure here, I can show you what it does. Let me grab this here. This is the JLD. Now I know the guy that holds the patent on these, and these are standard equipment now in all Breedlove guitars, well, most of the Breedlove guitars. And you can see how you have a dowel that rests against the tail block, and you tighten it up with a Allen nut here, a 3/16 Allen, where you can adjust the tension on the rod. That shows it going through the guitar. That's what it's going to look like inside the guitar right there. So this is a great device. I've installed probably a couple of hundred of them over the last 12 years. They work excellent in keeping the top down, keeping the action low, because when the top comes up it increases the action. So this is going to be installed also with this, and this dowel is going to come through the block. We're going to have to cut it off, because you have to cut them all off to fit the size, because tail blocks differ in size. The distance from here to here differs in size for a guitar. So you have to cut it to size, and it's going to rest up against this tail block that I've made. Now there's really not much of a tail block in there. There is one with a big hole cut in it for this compartment. But rather than just relying on these screws to hold this in under tension from that dowel, what I've done is I've actually glued that when I put that in. So yesterday I glued and screwed these pieces in, and we're all ready to install. First we're going to install the JLD bridge system, and then we're going to finish the pickup and the setup, and I'll show you what it looks like. Now I've got the JLD bridge bushing screwed in and the block ready. You can see where the screw head is countersunk. So I've drilled a 1/4 inch hole here with a brad bit, and it shows you where the block is. And if you look on the mirror, you should be able to see it. You can see the block against the top there mirrored up. Yeah, right there. I've got that mirrored, so you can take a good look at how that block goes over that pickup platform that they had in there. Needs to go inside the block as it goes in. It needs to clear that. Notice that it did clear it, and we have the block still reaching within the parameter of the bridge plate. So that's good. That's good. All right, and this JLD system block will go in here. There's the block, and we're going to take the JLD bridge system spruce dowel and fit it right through that hole, and it's going to be tightened on the other end with this Allen screw. Alright, so I've got my inlay covering the screw head there for the JLD bridge system, and I've got my volume and tone controls mounted. They couldn't be quite pushed over to this side here square, because there's a piece of bracing in there that's blocking that. So still we'll clear the string path, and you should be able to adjust the volume and the tone just fine. And let me show you where the battery is now. I put the battery there on what I call the floor of the guitar. Inside, it's very easily accessible. You can reach your hand in there with the strings off, and you can change this battery in just like less than a minute. So it's not in the way. And you may be asking, why didn't I put it up here on the neck block? Well, there's a reason why I didn't do that. That's where it normally is put. Like in a Martin guitar, you put the battery pack on the tail block of the, on the neck block inside the guitar. Well, instead of the neck block, I chose the floor of the guitar, and the reason for that is that behind that sticker right there, there are two bolts, neck bolts, that hold the neck on, and those two bolts need to remain accessible. So we don't want to put anything over that. In fact, the decal should eventually come off because those neck bolts do need to be checked periodically. So what I'm probably going to do is go ahead and peel this Taylor sticker off and go ahead and make sure these neck bolts are tightened. Also make sure that that fingerboard extension nut there is also tightened. That screw, rather, is 3/16, and it holds the fingerboard on. See it there? So that's a fingerboard stabilizer, and there's two bolts in there we want to tighten up, and let's finish the setup. Okay, so I removed that neck block sticker, and let me give you a shot here of the neck bolts. There they are. They are 7/16, and we're going to tighten those up right now. All finished. Rosewood plugs on the shoulder. And looks nice. Looks nice. It's my JLD bridge system installed, with the dot inlay covering the screw head, the controls, and this is the pickup system that I installed, the Baggs Element Active VTC. You can get these in Sweetwater, and that's the preamp right there. It goes in the tail block. That's the whole system right there. And I've installed the battery on the floor of the guitar, as I explained. And we're going to plug her in and see how she sounds. Alright, let's see how she sounds. Much better than that expression system. Get a bag system in there, that Element Active. You got a longer battery life, you got a warmer tone, everything's better over an expression system. And I think, frankly, that right there, the covers on the plugs over the knob holes, to me that actually looks better than having those knobs sticking out. And a real piece of rosewood in the back looks better than a plastic battery compartment. I mean, there's all kind of reasons to do this, you know. Here we go. Great pickup.